It's the week of April 5th, 2022. My name is Natalie.
And I'm Rosie. Welcome to your Ruth Fisher News.
A huge plume of dust and sand from the Sahara Desert swallowed up parts of Europe in mid-March. The storm blew into Spain on March 14th, turning the skies into a weird, rusty orange color and covering the ground and vehicles with fine sand particles. The thick dust layer stayed in the air for several days, causing officials to issue extremely poor air quality ratings in the capital city of Madrid and across large parts of Spain's southeast coast. While Spain had the worst of the sandstorm, its impact was felt across a large part of the continent, from Portugal to Germany to the United Kingdom. The dust plume turned the pristine white snow in the French Alps orange, enabling skiers and snowboarders to create colorful lines across the soft powder. Meanwhile, a downpour in Paris, France, blanketed roads and cars with blobs of mud. Fortunately, the event was short-lived in a distant memory by the end of the week. Though dust storms can be disruptive and cause respiratory issues for some, they have many benefits. The dry air associated with the Saharan air layer can stop storms from gaining strength during the summer hurricane season in the Atlantic Ocean. The sand also brings much phosphorus, an essential ingredient for plant growth, to the Amazon rainforest.
The National Weather Service in Phoenix predicts that Arizona is going to have a very wet and active monsoon season this summer, with nearly a 70% chance of precipitation expected to reach near or above normal across the southwest. Following the driest monsoon season on record in 2020, one of the wettest monsoons on record across the southwest occurred in 2021. Many areas saw record monsoon rainfall. It was a very wet monsoon. Of course, the year before that was the driest on record, said Marvin Percha, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Phoenix. Average rainfall during the monsoon months of June through September in 2021 was 7.93 inches, which was the 20th wettest on record since 1895, according to a review done by the Weather Service. The absolute heaviest rainfall fell near and over mountains across the region. Monsoon season begins June 15th and ends on September 30th. At least the odds are better than usual that we'll see normal to above rain, Percha said. Most of our storms are hit or miss, so even if you don't have rain, you still have the dust storms, the damaging winds, and the lightning as well. Now, let's go to Hope and Josh with sports.
Welcome to sports. My name is Hope.
And I'm Josh. The Diamondbacks wrapped up their spring training today with the final game against the Guardians. Then they will host the Padres for their home opener this Thursday to kick off the regular season with 4 games at home.
The Arizona Coyotes have just a few weeks remaining in what they knew would be a rebuilding year. They have traded away most of their players from last season, but are looking at making about 8 picks in the first 2 rounds of the NHL draft this season. With any luck, their picks will turn out to be strong future players, and the Coyotes will be back as a playoff contender in a couple of years.
The Suns have locked up the best record for the league this season. They are looking forward to the playoffs, especially now that Chris Paul has returned from injury. The Suns are currently the team to beat and the NBA favorites to win the championship this year.
That is all for today. See you next time on Sports News.
Thanks, guys. Let's go over to Jay Black with entertainment news.
Welcome back to Entertainment News. I'm Jay, reporting live from Siberia. The Festival of Tales is a fun day of reading, literacy, and cultural activities for children that include storytelling, arts and crafts, games, face painting, live music, food trucks, and much more. It is returning for its 9th year at the Paradise Valley Community College. The event brings books to life through art of storytelling and provides free books to children who will participate in the activities. This event will be held on Saturday, April 23rd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Well, if you are looking for something a little closer to home to do this weekend, check out the Bike Buckeye event. You can join the mayor and your neighbors for a friendly bike ride around Sundance. The Bike Buckeye will feature bike safety checks, a kids course, and a bike ride around Sundance with the mayor. Everything starts at 8:30 a.m. on the 9th. Check out the events on the Buckeye az.gov for more information. That is all for entertainment news. See you next time. Peace.
Thanks, Jay. Here's Aubrey and Shaylin with Fun Fact Trivia.
Welcome to Fun Fact Trivia. My name is Aubrey.
And I am Shaylin. Did you know that today is National Read a Road Map Day? It occurs every April 5th. The earliest road map, Britannia Atlas, was drawn by John Ogilvy in 1675. Fast forward a few centuries, and my, how things have changed with satellites, GPS, and voice commands. Do we know how to get anywhere anymore?
Road maps are still a useful tool. Should batteries run low or a satellite connection become lost, we will need to rely on a current road map to keep us on course. The day reminds us to take some time to sharpen those map reading skills. Take notice of your surroundings. Do you know north from east? If not, it's a good time to learn.
Your question today is, while the first road map was made in 1675, how old is the oldest printed map known to exist?
Is it A, 3,200 years old,
B, 4,500 years old?
or C, 5,700 years old?
You have 10 seconds to make your decision. If you said A, 3,200 years old, you are correct.
It is called the Turin Papyrus map from about 1160 BC found in Egypt. It shows travelers where to go in relation to the rivers of the area.
Fun fact, a map maker is called a cartographer. See you next week on Fun Fact Trivia.
Thanks, guys. Here's Dora and Kelsey with Joke of the Week.
Hello and welcome to Joke of the Week. My name is Dora.
And I'm Kelsey.
Okay, what is your joke?
What do you get when you put 3 ducks in a box?
I don't know what.
A box of quackers.
Haha, great joke. So funny. If you have a joke and would like to tell it on the news, please go to snusd.me/beonthenews and we would love to have you on.
See you next time on Joke of the Week.
Thanks, girls. Here's Gabriel with This Week in History.
Hello and welcome to This Week in History. I'm Gabriel. On April 5th, 1792, George Washington used the first presidential veto of the congressional bill. The bill introduced a new plan for dividing seats in the House of Representatives that would have increased the amount of seats for northern states. After consulting with his politically divided and continuous cabinet, Washington, who came from the southern state of Virginia, ultimately decided that the plan was unconstitutional because in providing for additional representatives for some states, it would have introduced a number of representatives higher than that prescribed by the Constitution. Washington exercised his veto power only one other time during his 2 terms in office. In February 1797, the former commanding general of the Continental Army vetoed an act that would have reduced the number of cavalry units in the army. See you next week on This Week in History.
Thanks, Gabriel. Let's go over to Gray with Science Time.
Welcome to Science Time. My name is Gray. The group in charge of caring for Australia's Great Barrier Reef, or GBR, reports that the reef appears to be going through another widespread coral bleaching event. Once again, rising ocean temperatures are threatening this massive underwater treasure. The Great Barrier Reef in the Pacific Ocean is the largest coral reef in the world. It runs over 1,400 miles, or 2,300 kilometers, off the northeast coast of Australia. The reef is home to thousands of different forms of underwater life. As the temperature of the world's oceans have increased because of human-causing climate change, corals around the world have begun to die off. This is often called coral bleaching because sometimes the dying corals turn white. The first widespread serious bleaching event, known as mass bleaching event, hit the GBR in 1998. Since then, there have been several other mass bleaching events. In 2022, 2016, 2017, and 2020. Depending on how serious the bleaching is, it's possible for some damaged coral reefs to recover. But even when the coral reefs survive bleaching events, they are left with much less healthy because of the stress of the event. It is still too early to know if this mass bleaching event. So far, only about half of the reef has been studied from the air. See you next week with more Science Time.
Thanks, Gray. Here's Cameron with Word of the Week.
Welcome to Word of the Week. My name is Cameron. This week is palatable. Palatable is an adjective and it means agreeable or acceptable to the mind or one's taste. Here's how you can use it in a sentence. The soup was too bland for my taste, so I added some salt and pepper to make it palatable. See you next time on Word of the Week.
Thank you, Cameron.
Vex Robotics will be selling candy after school this Thursday to raise money for their upcoming trip to the World Finals in Dallas next month.
Vex Robotics will also be hosting a Chipotle night fundraiser at this coming Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Watson Road location. Come get a burrito and help support the teams.
That is all for this episode of Ruth Fisher News. See you next week.
Go!